Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup 8-9. Oh my gosh. Continuing coverage of the group stage, we move on to back to Group A, because we've cast all of the games for Group B so far. So there's only Group A games left. Of course, that means I have to cast myself, which is always a little bit awkward, but you know, I'll do my best. This is going to be against Rompafrolic here. I have the pick first in the first game. I picked Coalition, and Rompafrolic picked Galzian. No surprise from him there, but I was trying to kind of play around with some other factions that I don't usually play, so here's my Coalition. It's not terribly good, but you know, worth some practicing. And I actually picked Kalash Teeth, because I feel like Galzian's a bit weak on this map. I would know, I play it all the time, so... my plan is to go AV Rush then, of course. And as for Rompafrolic, we have Skimmerfab started up here. So looks like he's got 4 salves, building one from the PC and the carrier. So I think he started Skimfab right off the bat there. So gonna go for some very early Sand Skimmers, expect to see some aggression. Depends what his tech choice is going to be then, though, because obviously Skims are not going to do terribly well when the AVs come out. So there's AV Fab finish for me. Or, wait, LAV Fab, sorry. Actually, I had some quick dropping woes there. Yikes. 2909 is not a terrible time, though, but I think you can get this started at 2915, so definitely a bit of inefficiency for me there. You know I could work on my Coalition build orders, that's no surprise. Rompafrolic, meanwhile, has finished that Sand Skimmer tech. He's already building them as well, as you can see. What's his resources looking like? Looks like he's probably stacking up to Assault Ships here, then, because he has a lot of CUs to his RU count there. Remains to be seen, though. Yep, it is going to be Assault Ship tech locked in at 2840. Not a terribly slow time, so... the thing is, though, he's leaving this PC back at home, which is a little bit interesting. I feel like because you get that frontline production, you really ought to bring that PC forward. I think he's maybe going to be thinking that now. But no, it looks like he's building salvagers now, so... I do worry a bit then that he's going to go for a bit of a milquetoast kind of like halfway build here, but you know, we'll just have to see. LAVs coming out across the field for me now are going to see that scanner. It was a base runner retire, so that scanner was deployed at the beginning of the game there. Just going to take this out, why not? Obviously, that's actually kind of big because I want to deny that vision, and I think I saw that there's something over here. Yeah, you can see that with this LAV here. Oh, but Rompafrolic backs away. Yeah, he's actually gonna... Oh, he's not sure what he wants to do. The right move here is to go and check the carrier and see what the tech is, because if he looks now he can see it in just a moment. There it is. Here's that carrier. AV module is opening, so he knows what the tech is for me, or at least he should. And I'll try and deny the vision here, you know, by killing off this skim as fast as I can, but there is the armor, so he would have gotten the audio cue as well, in case he didn't see that for whatever reason. So Assault Ship Fab is almost done for Rompafrolic now, finishing just now. His carrier is actually back home, so he can just start building those. He'll probably be safe, and armor unit defense is one teching as well. Very good then, that's I'd say what he wants to do. The only problem is that he still is a little bit reactive, I guess, in this game. He's not really being super proactive just yet. He could have brought this PC forward and then, you know, had like a bit more pressure, but he'll probably be just fine. He basically has to deny the AVs any damage on his side of the map, and then try and get up onto ref mode faster than I can get an SC out. And that should be possible for both players to get an advantage in this position if they play better than the other one, so... Still a very even game, I guess, what I'm trying to say. LAV gonna come over here to scout. There's Assault Ship, so I do see the tech. Obviously, once that carrier shoots at you, you definitely get vision, but I think the LAV saw it. Yeah, LAVs have a really big vision range. Little scuffle going over here by the third base. I'm gonna win that one. So, nice trade for me. Really nice to leave LAVs over here checking the third base, that you can get some info on like what your opponent's, how strong their economy is, I guess I'll say. Right about this time, you would expect refinery mode might be getting started, but Rompafrolic doesn't have Fleet Cap 45 up yet, so he's really gonna probably have to go for this first. So that is gonna slow him down a bit, but you can see I've made a lot of AVs here. This is quite a interestingly big commit, actually. I don't remember doing this. But I like it. It's kind of cool. The thing is, right, Rompafrolic, from his perspective, you have to realize he doesn't have much vision on the field, so he doesn't know how many AVs there are. So the danger is that he's going to build too many units and I'll go eco and just get ahead, or he's going to build too few units and I'll come in and do a bunch of damage. So it's a bit of a tough position for the Galzian player here. And this is why, of course, I picked this map for this matchup. I feel like Kalash Teeth really, really good for this kind of strat. Looks like the first engage is going to go down here. I've got high grounds. This Assault Ship here is going to melt rather quickly. Smoke just deployed to try and keep that carrier off of me. And I could put another smoke right here. This would be really good. Yeah, I do it. My AV micro is really just kind of sketchy sometimes, you know, but it looks like this is a very nice engagement so far. I have armor 2 and he only has armor 1, so I'm taking pretty good trades here for now. 2 salvagers go down as well. 1 AV gets lost, but we did already kill, I think, 2 Assault Ships. Maybe even a third gonna fall here if I want to stay for it, but I probably don't because these guys will catch up to me. AVs are faster, so I have a bit of an advantage that way. My support cruiser is queuing now. Rompafrolic feels he has to go for the defense. He's probably right. Armor 2 coming out here. That means I should have an eco advantage, so I've gained myself a pretty significant lead, I'd say, in this game now. Gonna focus fire woes for me, although actually really I shouldn't stay here at all. This is probably an overcommit at this point. Because if I lose these AAVs, that big advantage that I've got might fall, because now I have the same problem that he did, where I need to build army now rather than just going straight up to eco. I might get another one, but we trade 1 for 1 here, but I probably... Well, maybe I'll actually kill this guy. Oh, look at that, it's 2 for 2. That's quite surprising. Well, in that case, this is fine for me. I haven't really lost anything. Production upgrade coming out for me. This is actually the first production upgrade. And I've got the option to try to tech to something now if I'd like to as well, but I'm also harassing on this side with 1 singular AV. That's quite nice, if I do say so myself. Which clearly I do, because I just did. Yeah, when you're doing AV rush, you just want to be as annoying as possible. That's the goal. And we do have our second base set up here now. Ref mode is on the way though for Rompafrolic, so he didn't blink too hard here. This is actually a really good call for him to say, like, he's probably not got any more AVs. Let's just go to eco then and try to stem the bleeding here. I will be faster on a 2 base as you can see, but not by much. Only about 20 seconds, so not bad. I'd say this is still a significant advantage for me, but Rompafrolic is doing his best to not get too far behind here. And if he catches this AV, that'd be very nice for him as well. Once I see this, I should probably back away here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. When I'm casting myself, I'm always like, I should do this now. And then there's like an awkward silence as I think, am I actually gonna do it though? Little smoke deploy here would keep this AV safe as well. Yeah, there it is. Sometimes I please myself. I see that I actually did do what I think is the right move here. No tech though for me, right? I haven't gotten into anything else, so it's just gonna be actually the probe here to scout what my opponent is doing, and then I'm going into base runners here, trying to get a bit of control over the field. No inventory techs, this guy can't drop a turret or anything like that, but I still think I have the advantage in armor battles. And my probe here is scouting to see if there's any air coming up, but there's not. And in fact, we're probably gonna go to missile ship fab here, which is a bit interesting. That to me says, like, I could go air myself here and advance tech that way, but I'm actually so sure you're gonna go for air yourself. I'm not gonna bother going for air, which might lose, although generally Gaussian air has the advantage there. I'm gonna go straight to the blind counter and kind of call you there. But I feel like, well, he's wrong, because I'm not actually teching fighter gunship here, so a bit fortuitous for me then. But it is true, Rompafrolic does not have scouting right now. He can't see, so he kind of has to make some kind of a call here. Unfortunately, going to be the wrong one for him, unless he cancels it in just a moment, you know? No cancel coming out, so missile ship fab is done, that money is committed. Armor 3 finishing for me just now before the fight occurs here, which I mean, I think anyway, Rompafrolic looks like he wants to fight. But if he stops and just holds these chokes, that's actually pretty wise on this map, because obviously you can really hem in your opponent that way. But make no mistake, I definitely have the lead in terms of armored units, not just by numbers, but mine, yeah, 6 to 4, right? But mine also have the advantage in upgrades. But you would generally assume when assault ships get armored 3 as well, they start winning the 1v1 trades pretty effectively, so. Baseman is ready to set down a turret though. I don't think there's really going to be any damage to me here. Looks like 4 AVs getting committed to that side, 2 of them can just hold off these 2 assault ships, and I can drop the turret if I need it. In fact, turret going down really early here. It's a bit prophylactic for me, but you know. Not the worst thing I could have done though. No high ground on it though. Oh yeah, because these guys are really up high on that side of the dune. I actually like that, because otherwise obviously I would have high ground on that turret, so pretty nice move there. But he wants to commit in, he wants to get something done here, but I just don't think he can. So this assault ship there going to be forfeit. These 2 probably going to be chased down by these AVs as well. He doesn't have armor 3 started, so this will be pretty okay for me. And fighter and gunship was on the mind here for sure. I mean, I'm just assuming. I don't remember this game really, but, you know. You gotta think when you're ahead, like, well, I could go for air here, but I feel like rails actually are a really smart choice for me because I already have armor 3, so seems like it stacks really nicely with the AAVs. Rompafrolic, though, I should point out, is actually the first on the 3 base here, so he does have that second PC out, is on the 3rd base already. But it's me with the army advantage. He's about to make a counter push, so we'll see how this goes for him. Gonna try to extract an artifact as well, and I do have that sport cruiser on the way, so it's not gonna be long before we're on 3 base ourselves. Here come the AVs. But it looks like... No, I am going to go in here. I guess I'm just trying to shuffle, keep the wounded guy out in the back there. It's probably not unwise. But he does have 4 assault ships now, and he's got the health advantage. But taking this fight a little bit one at a time here, which is not really what he wants to do. Obviously, he loses a 1-on-4. I shouldn't have to say that. So even though he's got the same numbers, if we isolate it into a bunch of 1-on-4s like this, what I'm doing is a mistake, I should win that fight. This guy could smoke to keep himself alive. There's the smoke. But it's a little bit off, but he lives on 2 HP. Look at that. Clutch. Ah, it's a 1 for 0. That's just cheeky. LAV is going to come over here and try and pressure the 3rd, though, meanwhile. But This is curious though, right? Why has Rompafrolic done this? He has this PC obviously here, but not, well, not here, I guess is the whole point. Maybe he's like trying to produce assault ships right on the front line, but he's actually like moved it off of this base, which means these guys are long distance mining. Kind of an interesting move, not sure exactly what the idea there is. Support crews are going to fill out the third base for me now, so like I said, I was a little bit behind on third base timing, but he moved this PC off, so I mean, I feel like I just get ahead this way. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Don't know what else to say about that. Railguns on the way for me though. I forgot to mention I did mention I got the tech, but I have them out on the field now, so I've got a couple railguns produced here. Again, these missile ships can actually deny the probes, so they're not totally useless, and they're good against AAVs as well with that barrage, but definitely not the most efficacious tech that he could have had here. Armored Units 3 going to be really big value for him, of course, because he is going to upgrade the missile ships with that as well. Same reason why I'm going for rails, right? Because I already have Armor 3 on the AAVs. But yeah, this will obviously be a pretty tough fight for him to take here, and I am going to tech into Assault Cruiser Fab as well. It's pretty wide teching for me, actually. I mean, I feel like I don't really need that. I already have the rails, but maybe I'm just thinking because it's Kalash Teeth. I mean, Assault Cruisers are so good on this map. At either rate, that is, or at any rate, English, that is going to be the plan for me. Rompa with a lot of guys, though, right? And this is already 5 assault ships over here, but he's got more on this side, too. I've got a lot of guys healing, so my army is not as small as it looks. It's a little bit deceptive that way, but he does actually have a really significant force out here on the field. I just feel like mine is better tech-wise, but obviously you know how that works. If I take the engage wrong, I could still easily get dunked, so you do want to be careful. Carrier's kind of plugging this gap up here, though, and I feel like that's really nice for me. I could have brought it around on the side, but then I have a vulnerability where he pushes in like this. Right now, like, there's no way he can make this push, so he'll take the choke point, that's fine, but he doesn't really want to go over this hill, because obviously rails are ready to shoot at him, Carrier's here, it's going to put out some really significant damage. And the problem is I can't really build rails, I guess, right next to him like that, so I'm actually going to pull the Carrier away. I guess that does make sense. Mag XL coming out for me as well. I should really rotate here also. Ooh, that guy's a little nervously close there, but I do feel if he would push over the hill, he'd probably take some losses, so you can understand why he's getting a bit of respect there. Artifact extraction actually being attempted by Rompa here on the right side. Didn't see that, and he has unlocked that Carrier now. Oh, he hasn't, though. He's actually sacrificing the third base eco to bring this Carrier move out. Oh. Well, I'll tell you, when I see the Carrier here, I definitely am going to be thinking, like, well, yeah, he just unlocked Carriers, so he must have 3 PCs, but he's actually only on 2 base, so I'm probably overestimating his economy at this point in the game. That's kind of an interesting idea. It kind of elicits a push from the opponent because he feels like he needs to get something done, right? I wonder if I'll start pushing out across the field now then. I mean, it does look like I'm trying to do something on this right flank here. Probe gonna check the tech though, and it's nothing. It's just assault ships. Really kind of curious. There's no rails here. Oh, that's cheeky. He actually killed a logistics module there. Although it looks like I got some payback. Managed to kill a missile ship for that. I'm even gonna bring the support cruiser over to heal him up a little bit. I like the move. I like the move. Yeah, but Probe's still checking this Carrier, which right now is just kind of holding this choke here. Power 3 on the way. Very, very little tech, though. I mean, obviously, like, rails and AAVs are much superior to just assault ships from him. He does have skims, but no upgrades on them either. We should go without saying, I've got LAV Fab done, too. Assault cruisers out as well, though. And this is where things probably will start to change, because these guys will be able to push out over the choke. Missile ships are actually pretty effective against them, but they use that barrage on the logistics modules. I was praising that move before, but maybe I should take it back now. And another PC comes out for Rompafrolic to set up his third base, but yeah, it looks like the time that he has field control over the field, oh my gosh, is probably coming to an end here. He's trying to push over here and like get around the army with these assault ships, but there are rails from the second base shooting at them, so they're going to take a lot of damage on the way up here. There are AAVs to defend. I don't think he'll be able to get away with this. And this whole army is kind of being isolated into a pocket now with these assault cruisers here. These assault ships here probably wisely trying to get out with their lives, but I feel like all of these units here are sort of trapped right now. Maybe he'll try and trade them out for some damage on this side if he can, but I don't really know what he'll be able to get there. Third base is going to get set up by him just now. He does have siege cruiser tech done. First one is building. But I've got artillery cruiser tech done already, actually. Wow, I haven't queued any up just yet, but I'm sure I will soon. Again, though, I checked that Carrier with the probe, so I know he hasn't got any errors, so I'm not really worried about that right now. Skim's trying to do a bit of harassment on this side. My LAVs are actually wounded. He could maybe get something done there. But my Carrier is unlocked as well, and I'm going to start coming out. Oh, shoot, I forgot. There's actually a turret here. I'm going to set up another turret in this position, too. But I'm going to start coming out here with a really big army. Lots of rails, assault cruisers, carrier power could be teched here. I probably have the money, but artillery cruisers being produced instead. I do have that tech, of course, like I said. And this missile battery, man, he's out for blood. Although I guess that turret didn't have line of sight, so that's totally fair play. Siege gonna reveal itself here with a barrage on that base burner. But Rompafrolic correctly identifying he needs to hold this flank here. This is where I'm going to try to push through. And you see an assault cruiser coming out that way, but this is going to be a really dedicated push, not just a small flank, as I do have the rails coming out as well. And an assault cruiser moving through the middle choke also. Would not be surprised if I built a couple base runners here too. I've got the money clearly. That'd be a really, I think, a good call. Because obviously right now I've got field control. When you get it, you wanna extract as fast as you can. Attack missile barrage comes out on the carrier just to dump out a little bit of damage, but it looks like this assault cruiser gonna back away here. Artillery is out though, just now. Wow, just in time. So this is a thing. Obviously, with that barrage ability, right? Like I should be able to really zone off my opponent from defending this flank here, but I'm already on top of his base. I mean, like I feel like I almost don't even need to. Artifact actually dropped by me here, so. Oh shoot, no, that was by him. He picked up an artifact, but was not able to extract it there. My base runner did manage to survive. Another tech missile barrage attempted by this AC to just try and hurt these assault ships over the dune there, but didn't quite manage to hit them. Looks like he's got EMP actually on these siege cruisers. No range upgrade just yet, but he does land a nice EMP on that assault cruiser. Slows me down just a little bit to buy a bit of time, but again, I don't really need to push here even. Although it's pretty clear that I can, my army is pretty vastly superior, but I'm already winning just by holding that main base off, so... Even if we stall out here, I feel like this definitely goes more and more to my side the longer this game goes on at this point. A lot of CUs floating in the bank for me here, but I mean, you don't criticize this army, so it's not really a problem, I don't think. Although you know what A-Game will say is, imagine if he had 25, or no. Yeah, imagine if he had like 27 LAVs right now, so you know, that's fair. But I am actually nearly approaching fleet capacity as well. This flank here, of course, is totally just driven a wedge through the lines. The third base I'm going to leave up, because, you know, the carrier is the better objective here, but not really much that Rompa can do at this point. Well, I mean, there's exactly no things he can do, he's dead, but... I mean, like I said, he just had no tech, though. It was only assault ships there, and then Siege came out right at the end, but at that point it was really too late, so... Armies were, obviously, like, I had the numbers advantage as well, because he wasn't holding his third base there, he chose to bring the carrier out pretty early. But even if armies were equal value, I mean, mine was definitely much better, like, tech-wise, so... That is going to be game one going to me. And I will load the second replay in here. Looks like it's going to be on Kartoba. This will be Rompafrolic's pick. He takes Galzian. I'm going to match with Soban, actually. Fun. Spicy. And Rompa picks Kartoba as the map here. Kartoba, very good early aggro map. Maybe he's thinking of Rail Rush. Not sure what my plan is. If I casted these like pretty soon after I played them, maybe I would kind of know like, wow, that was a really slow start. Maybe I'd know a little bit better like what my game plan was and stuff, but you know, it has been a while. It's been about like 2 weeks since these were played. Guys, wouldn't it be cool? I'm not even gonna say it. So let's see what the build is for Rompafrolic this time. Looks like he's got a 3-1 start. No, wait, what? How does this happen? It must have been a 3-1 start, but the orientation of these salvagers confuses me. It looks as though they were both produced out of the carrier, which can't be right. Oh well, a bit of a priority on CUs here then, but he's pretty similar to his eco from last game. You can see he's at 250-60 right now. Sport Cruiser on the way for me, so it looks like it's just going to be SC first for now. I guess, I mean, I know that this map is an aggro map, right? So I guess I'm feeling confident in holding if he does choose to push me. Sandscreamer Fab available now if he wants to take it, and he does. So it looks like 100 RUs in the bank for now. He does actually pop this wreck first here, which is going to slow him down a little bit, but not by too much. It looks like he has 2 LDMs here, and his base runner is going to move out across the field as well. Perhaps to drop a scanner here. But it's interesting to note, if he is going to go for early aggro, he's keeping that base runner, which means he wants to go for aggression, but also artifacts on the back of it. And you can see I actually dropped that ALM to try and catch the scanner if he put it in a position to check the second base. Always just kind of a fun play to try to make, but is going to be dropped here where you can see the main. He does have vision on this CU pit over here, so He sees that carrier then, he knows what the play is. This is obviously SC first for me, otherwise I'm stupid. If the carrier moves out and there's no SC here, he doesn't have to worry, he's already won. So, yeah, this is SC first and he knows it. Probe comes out for me then. You can see that base burner and try and skirt around it, so I catch a base burner in the middle of the field, and I'm probably feeling confident then. Okay, well, he's got a base burner out in the middle, it's probably not aggro then, I'll build another salvager here. This is one advantage of base burners like that. But here are sand skimmers that I'm seeing, so I'm going to start queuing LAVs here. But I did build 3 cells, which is quite a lot, so that may come back to hurt me a little bit then. I'm a little bit overbuilt on eco, I think. Artifacts are live now. Rompafrolic going to pick up that one in the middle, post-haste. And now what I really want to do with the probe now, rather than just kind of hanging around here, I want to go and check his carrier and see what the tech is. But there's a second base runner being built. Oh my gosh. Well, his tech is really, really late then in that case. The thing that you gotta know about skimmer pushes in the beginning like this is that if you don't follow up with some kind of a tech, you will... Oh, by the way, he got an LAV kill. That's a little sloppy of me. If you don't follow up with some kind of a tech, carrier production upgrade is coming out. And clearly the Coalition player is going to overwhelm you with numbers eventually, so that tech is necessary to buy time for you to get your second PC out. Oh no, but he's teched rating and he's going to tech damage here. Off of one production line. This is really, really bad build here, actually. The problem is that, like, obviously upgrades are much more valuable the more units you've got, right? Say that the damage makes all of the skimmers, like, 25% more valuable, well, another skimmer would be 100% value, right? So until you have quite a number of them, getting that upgrade is not going to be a return on the investment as you would expect it to be. So he does have the skimmer lead right now, but production upgrade is done now, so I'm double producing. Assault pack is on the way as well. And he's just kind of waiting, he's not pushing in here at all, so I'm obviously just going to stack up and have more guys than him. This is actually what he wants to do. So he comes up and gets a good engage here on the high ground. Holds for a bit too long though. Again, LAVs have really long range, so I'm able to shoot at him that whole time. I managed to take a 2-for-1 trade there actually off the back of a initially good engage for him. He comes in again there to pick off that LAV, which is okay, but he does lose 2 skims for it. Numbers are looking more or less even now, but again, he does have the upgrade lead, to be fair. He's got damage 1. But no tech. And that's not good. If I had gone for AVs, I feel like the game would already be over here, but... Oh, the probe died. Look at that. Oh shoot, I actually remember this. I tried to bring something back over there, but I accidentally hit 1 instead of 2. I think it was like the LAVs I wanted to bring, and 1 is the group I put my probe on all the time, so I brought the probe back and lost it to the PC. I actually remember this very specifically. Kind of messy trading going for me. You can see I'm fighting up high ground quite a lot here, but I know that I'm getting the numbers eventually. There's no tech. I saw that with the probe before it died there. So I'm curious like what he's trying to do here. This seems really into me, but 2 extracts do go down. He's going to pick up a 3rd here, so at least he does have some artifact pressure set up, but I have the base spinner here ready to deny that middle artifact, so I'm going to pick that one up. Again, a bit more high ground here for Rompafrolic, but the ALM does manage to stun that guy and catch him out, so it's another 2-for-1 trade. The number's now 8-6. He's got vastly superior upgrades here, but I might still take this fight, to be honest. And hello, Houston. Yeah, sorry. I'm so scatterbrained. No, I did see you there, but the game was being intense. But as you can see, I do win this trade just by virtue of having the numbers here. You know, where's the tech, and if there's no tech, where's the second PC? This is just a very textbook mistake here by Rompafrolic. Kind of sad to see. This is what we call a meat grinder scenario, or at least this is always my terminology for it. Obviously, what he gets into here is a position where like his PC just continues to build skimmers out into the big mix of all these LAVs here, and they'll just instantly die, right? And so, you know, he can't build up numbers at all. Wow. Wow. Yeah, down goes the PC here. Actually, a couple of units queued as well, so he's gonna lose the money for that, unfortunately. Another PC queued for Rompafrolic, but at this point, I'm feeling pretty mighty comfortable. And actually, I do recall this game now that I think about it, because I remember at this stage, I start going for a bit of greed here. You can see, I don't know why I'm even getting LAV damage ups, because obviously all the skims are dead. I don't need to worry about clearing out skims here. The only thing Rompa has got going for him is that he has... Oh, eco-suicide, don't do this. You leave the carrier on the main. It's mathematically proven this is much better to leave the carrier on the main. But anyway, Rompafrolic has a lot of carrier power, actually, so I should be aware that there is maybe a possibility of, like, a carrier all-in, especially because I'm Sogon, and at early power levels I'm pretty weak. So I start teching to air here, and A-Game was really critical of that. He was like, yeah, you are ahead, but you know we got 3 artifacts, so if you tech to air, you might lose here, so... That is probably a mistake for me, but it looks like Rompa is not going to be capitalizing on it, because he does have ref mode coming out here. He was teching Rails even, but it looks like he's cancelled that. PC does come out though, so he's got another one now. Again, still doing this really bad eco-suicide here. I don't know why he does this, but... this is just very, very provably bad, but looks like I'm going to send a little contingent of LAVs out here onto this side, try and get a bit of flank going. But Rompafrolic cannot build many units. He's only got one production line right now. In fact, he built a salvager first, too, off of this PC. Oh, gosh. I mean, that just really does not sound good. He does it to tick you off. Oh, you might be right. Sometimes I worry that, like, the things that I point out in my cast, like, oh, I hate it when people do this. They're like, oh, you're saying I should do this, huh? Base runner going for a second artifact here for me. It looks like Rompafrolic going to move to chase it down there. I'm totally fine with this, though, because if he's moving his carrier out again, he's losing that second base, and he builds another base runner. I mean, what the heck kind of game state do you think we're in that you can get a base runner right now? There's like, this is the worst possible build choice that he could have made. Sorry if I'm sounding a little annoyed, but this is horrible. we've been over this, Rompa. You need army. Oh well, LAV's gonna show up here then. These guys actually playing a little bit chicken. They don't want to commit in, clearly. Seems very vanilla of him. Yeah, I don't know, I think even in vanilla he'd die there, but I do know what you're talking about with the, oh, I like the death pack. I know what you're talking about though with the base runner heal spam strategies. But yeah, LAVs get a couple picks here on the salvagers, brings that carrier over, and I can just leave. Don't have to overcommit to anything here. I am on 3 base quite fluently as well, so I mean clearly my eco edge here is massive. It's unreasonably large. The fact that he's only got 1 production line but he's still managing not to float, and I have 3 production lines but managing not to float, that tells you what the army sizes are going to look like in a moment. And indeed, I've got a lot of air on the way here. You can queue up another one, in fact. Look, actually, I do have quite a bit of a float, don't I? What I should spend it on is probably carrier power again, right? Because obviously, like, yeah, look, there it is, power 2. The danger here is that he's going to show up with, like, a powered-up carrier, because he had those 3 artifacts. Tries to get a 4th one, but of course, like I said, I mean, that's a really, really out-of-touch choice. He cannot extract here. There's 0 chance that I'm going to let him get away with that. So sure enough, the base runner does get denied. That's just a bit of money wasted from Rompa. You hate to see it. Second PC queuing for him finally. That's what he needs, right? Because he's got to build army up on the field here. If I was a little bit less afraid, I guess I would probably just dive in and kill his PC with these LAVs. To be honest with you, this is how like Garmulator always played back in vanilla, right? And he did that for a reason. It works. But yeah, I'm playing a little afraid here. I'm not really sure afraid of what, but maybe it's more just that I think that I'm going to win anyway off of this power push here, so I'm just like not worried about it at all. Power 3 on the way, support cruiser being produced as well. You know what the drill is. I'm obviously going for carrier power. If I can just have more power than him, I'm not worried about an engagement, right? And I have this massive wing of air here as well, so I've actually held on to them for a long time. I'm not building anymore, so this is when I should be deploying the air. He's only British, no need to be afraid, yeah. If he was Australian, maybe this would be a valid fear, right? More strange move-outs from his eco line. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. It's really curious. Power 2 teching for him now. Rompafrolic loves carrier power. That's like his big thing to play with. That's why he goes for these artifacts in the beginning. Strike fighters are out, though. And it looks like that PC will be the target, as you would expect. LAVs are here, too. They can capitalize if I need to get a bit more damage on it. Looks like I'm going to send them in that regard. Bit of a suicide mission, but I mean, hey, it's going to be worth it. I'll get that in return. That's a lot of missiles for one salvager there. Clearly I meant to target the PC instead. But Rompafrolic knows how this one ends, and he is going to choose to surrender. Weird game, man. I mean, I don't know what he was trying to do. He had way too much investment in skimmer upgrades in the beginning. I mean, it's one thing to not go for a tech, what I call a dry skimmer rush. I've always felt like you kind of deserve to lose if you do that, because it's a very unsound build, just in terms of game theory, right? But you know, you don't have tech, like, you don't even have a second PC, so what are you doing with all of your money? So many base runners, and it doesn't pay out for him. This is actually not really that great of play for me, to be honest, but I mean, like, a good Saban player would have just absolutely smashed him into pieces, so... Oh, you didn't just say that. Anyway, thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll move on to the next one. Oh, it's a 1-1. Or 2-0. Sorry, 2-0. I win, as always.